There was a singer by the name of Phyllis Hyman who died in 1995. She was bipolar, and during a episode of depression, she took her own life right before she was supposed to perform at the Apollo Theater in New York. I read her biography one day when I was in the bookstore, supposedly writing something else. I just sat there and read her entire biography from cover to cover, and I really related to her. And after I was done, I wrote this poem. It's called One Good Reason to Stay, a poem for Phyllis Hyman. And One Good Reason to Stay is a song title from her posthumous album, the album that came out after she died. And when I realized after reading her story was that all the songs that she had that I loved, that I thought were about some dude, were really about her and the things that she was struggling with. Give me one good reason to stay. It sounds like she's talking about, you please tell me that you love me, and she's talking to herself, and it really changed the way I looked at her music. So I wrote this poem for her, One Good Reason to Stay, a poem for Phyllis Hyman. They said you tried, squeezed laughter from stone whenever you could, hurdled yourself out of bed and fogged long enough to send your songs across the night. They said you were a fighter. In these photographs, you flash a black and white of doe-eyed and regal crowns. No one can doubt your strength. They called you Pepper. Mistook your rage for something other than the pain it protected. Said it was the men that left you small and king-size empty of bed. Said it was the weight, the freedom that life denied you. The drugs providing synthetic sex. They said the loneliness ate you when no one heard. You were a half a breath of ache before the first note. The hurt that lingered like last call after the final curtain, when it was just you and you, aching to be rid of yourself, begged sleeping backs and closing doors for a good reason to stay, a reason to try, to push beyond the pain for one more day. Maybe you would have remembered the music, caught the chord that impressed even you, wrapped that ego around your shoulders and rose with all your 6 feet plus 4-inch heels, breathing air and fire and stone. Phyllis, you were an impossible quest for calm, an unattainable tomorrow, the press and push of a yesterday that bound you. And we, your lost daughters, study your song, search for meaning in each and every line, anything to put purpose to the hollow that throbs within us. Phyllis, we have so many questions. Did you see God before you left? Does she look like you, all long-limbed and thick-lipped, round-faced and ethereal beauty? If you had, would you have done it anyway? Refused your reflection that last morning, or would you have sighed into a recollection? Exhaled the low, slow, mournful blues into the heavens, felt like this is where you needed to be? Was Lady there? Did she welcome you as kindred, or urge you to return to the new voices that would hold you as example? What would you say to Amy, to Brittany? Was it you that saved Mary? Whitney? Can you save Lauren? We need a song, Phyllis. Something like you, a pretty stained glass held to catch the light, something honest and real. We need a song, Phyllis. Put a little beauty into this pain. We fling from shell to shell, drenched in our own denial and hollow pillar, each of us adding a lyric, another reason to welcome morning despite the lonely, despite the empty, the fatigue eating through our bones. We are all tired, all feel on odd days that this heartbreak could be the last. We need a song, Phyllis, a poem to carve and crawl under, something honest and real, something fragile and fire, something beautiful, something like you, Phyllis, a good enough reason to stay. During a proper show, usually I have a whole bunch of rules. When I do this, it means I'm done. But you don't have to feel compelled to clap if you want to. This is a poem that I wrote. Did you want me to do 2 or 3? I can't remember.
You can do as many as you want, but 2's fine.
2's fine. Okay. Well, this is a poem that I wrote the night before I went to the hospital the first time. I went in for depression, well, both times, but the first time was just sort of, I was in complete crisis. And I wrote this poem the night before. It's called Choices. Trying to fall asleep confronted by a glow of a television at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. is difficult. You cannot sleep comfortably here, but your bedroom is just too lonely, too far away, too cold. Your heart, it's beating too fast. You're covered in a mist, your own sweat, and you're afraid of what's happening to your body, to your emotions, to your common sense. So this is an open letter to the girl that you once were, the one that loved loudly like 1,000 steel bands and danced with the feverish joy of a child, just learning to appreciate her body, remembering the voice, your voice, and how it never fit on the inside. It existed within the full-throated shout of grown men, outdoors amongst the trees, skid knees, the freedom of dirt and mud and rain. She is 25 now, that girl. And after a quarter century of living and loving, she has become lonely and scared, harboring secrets and sadness, wondering what happened to 18, and innocent and fearless. This is about for once not hiding behind metaphors and similes and smiles and reconstructed laughter. This is about honesty and truth and falling in love and meaning it. This is about falling in love and leaving it. This is about confusion and contradiction. A vegetarian who hates vegetables, a size 2 who always tries on a size 8 just in case something has changed. This is about changes, about looking him in the face saying, I will fight for you, protect you. I swear to God. This is about wanting someone to fight for you, protect you, swear to their God. This is knowing that he won't and still finding the strength to leave. So this is about fatigue and being tired of being there when no one seems to be there for you. So maybe this is about choices, about the pills hidden in your underwear drawer, about 4 hours in the gym, 2 weeks of only water and power bars. So this is about shame, about finally admitting that things aren't okay. This is about saying, now that you know the truth, will you please love me anyway? Because this is about humility and admitting that you need help and sleep and hugs and permission to cry despite the strength you are often accused of. This is about relinquishing control, taking a breath, stepping back. This is about 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., still no sleep, the glow of a television, you bathed in sweat, tears, the need for noise, the quiet that kinds you, and the quiet that